what would you do to increase mental health care for the many and the increasingly many who need it?
The major cuts with the last legislative emergency session to Health and Human Services. I sit on the Family Support Council, and I'm very concerned about the suicide rate. Again, Nevada is very high. We're not number one, but we're up in the top 10 of suicide, particularly among our young people. I find that distressing. So if we have another huge budget cut, it will again go to Health and Human Services. What is the answer? I go back to looking at line by line the allocation, where the waste is, and cutting out the waste, and making people accountable, our departments accountable for the money that is allocated to them. We could save some money to go back into Health and Human Services.
That strikes me as a social service that we are simply going to be mandated to pick up. Am I correct on that? There's going to be a mandatory contribution from the county there, and if you simply run out, once again, I have to go back to what I mentioned before, is that the county has limited discretionary ability over its budget. A lot of it is simply mandated by the state. We're not an Abbeville County, and so if you have to, that's at the top of your priority list for funding. So something else will have to suffer if you are going to run short of funding for that. But once again, the commissioners are in the unfortunate position of having to monkey with the high-profile services. I, for one, can't stand to see library hours cut back because I use the library all the time. But there you go. What are you going to do? You're going to turn out the lights at the ballpark? You're going to have to if you're going to keep these services up.
Their budget, plus they get a lot of money. I don't know the number of figures or something, $5 million, they get an extra amount of money for free, which helps their budget, but then they mandate it back to us. So we still have to pay it, and then we don't have the money. So that's what I'm saying, where I hate to say that I'm on defense so much. I'm doing everything in our power to preserve what we have right now and to make sure we keep the economy the way it is in this county and maintain our businesses and maintain the people here that we have and our services at the level that we have them right now, because I'm telling you, it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better. And it was mentioned that we need to come together as a community. This is the time to do it. Just be there for us, and hopefully we'll get through this one.
Thank you, Mike Olson.
Thank you. I've lost 2 friends over the last 12 months to suicide, and it's a tragedy. And I think part of the reason we lost them is because they saw no hope. And I think one of the things we need to do is focus on that hope. One of the things that we can do as a county commission is support faith-based services that help the indigent care, help mental health disorders. I think that's the first, it's generally someone to sit down and talk to, someone to listen, someone to help. And I think that's a start. I'm not a mental health expert, but I would sure listen to the mental health experts to see what their needs were, to see how those could be provided from a county commission level. I think also what we need to do is we focus on our economy, build our economy back up, because generally when people are doing well, they're not thinking about doing bad. And I think that we need to support that also. And that may answer a lot of our questions and give us answers to a lot of our needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy Epstein.
Has done a good job. Our rural mental health care providers have done a good job. I think the rural mental health care providers are facing over a 13% cut, I think it is, in 2009, and it's going to be absolutely devastating. I mean, we need to get over the stigma of mental health issues and depression. We have friends and neighbors, folks. There's those here that I'm sure have taken advantage of some therapy, some medication, that kind of thing, and they're hanging on. They're getting through. They're being an active participant in their community. They're contributing to our society. We're coming up with devastating cuts. What can the county do? Maybe we can provide a place for folks to meet. Maybe there's some retired mental health care professionals that could come in and offer their services on a volunteer basis. Again, be a citizen, not just a resident of your community. We can pull together and get through this. We've got some generous folks out there, and we need to work together to get through this time.
The senior centers, the youth programs, the budgetary constraints that we're going to be experiencing are going to affect everything across the board. So how, as a human being, how would I say, let's cut health care for seniors and mental health care for people that need it and raise, say, youth programs. I don't know. I think that there's going to be across-the-board cuts, and how we're going to manage that, I'm not quite sure. I like Nancy's idea about volunteers. We do have a large senior population that probably has time and experience that can help out in these programs.